Why are so many professionals choosing to make their career in Minnesota? Well, let me tell you something. While Minnesota might be known as the land of 10,000 lakes and ice and snow, Minnesota is also home to 17 Fortune 500 companies. Some of the world's biggest brands like Target, UnitedHealth Group, Ecolab, Best Buy, all come right out of the great state of Minnesota. Leading the nation in healthcare, top-tier tech companies, and some retail giants, today we are going to look at the 12 companies that you need to be aware of before you pack your bags and come to Minnesota. All right, my friends, before we get started on this, my name is Chris. My partner, Trevor, our team, we like to get out into these Minneapolis and St. Paul communities, show you a little bit about the way of life, the real estate, the job market, all the things. We help people like you make a move here all the time. It doesn't matter at all if it's 2 weeks, 2 months, or 5 years. Contact information is below. If we can help you, please reach out, drop us a message, and let's have a conversation. And now we're going to get into some of these massive Minnesota companies, and we're just going to start off by listing them. I'm going to cover the 12 largest for the purposes of this video today, but as I mentioned in the opening, there are 17 Fortune 500 companies here in Minnesota. So here they are in order, and we are going to order them by which company has the largest number of employees in the state. So leading us off at number 1 is going to be 3M Corporation, which has 61,000 employees in Minnesota. Number 2, everybody knows this one, the big red circle and bullseye, Target, coming in at 35,000 employees in Minnesota. Number 3, massive global company, is going to be UnitedHealth Group, headquartered in Eden Prairie, 19,000. Polaris, anybody like four-wheelers and jet skis? I know I do. That is going to be headquartered in Minnesota with about 5,500 employees. Land O'Lakes, you like yourself some butter and milk? You might have heard of that one. That's going to come in at number 5 on the list, and right behind that is number 6, Hormel Foods. Spam anyone? Number 7, Xcel Energy, followed by number 8, US Bank. Number 9, Best Buy, retail electronic giant. And right behind number 9 is who likes their Cheerios? That's going to be General Mills. Coming in at number 11, Ecolab. Number 12, Ameriprise Financial, followed at number 13 by Thrivent Financial. Rounding out the bottom is going to be C.H. Robinson at number 14, Securian Financial at number 15, Fastenal at number 16, and newly created Solventum in Maplewood, which is a biotech company. And I'm not going to lie, I don't know a whole lot about that one, but I know it is the last of the Fortune 500s in Minnesota. Okay, so we are going to get this party started. We are going to look at Minnesota's 12 largest employers by employee count, just to make that clear. This is not necessarily the biggest company by revenue or total employees. This is by employee count in Minnesota, just so you guys know, and we are going to run down the 12 biggest ones in this video. And to get this party started, so a little context: Minneapolis, St. Paul, and just a little bit to the east of St. Paul is going to be Minnesota's absolute largest employer by employee count, and that is Minnesota's own 3M Corporation. So you can see that's actually located in the St. Paul suburb called Maplewood, just a little bit east of downtown St. Paul. 3M has over 60,000 employees in the state of Minnesota. Comprehensive benefits, great employee stock plan. It's an innovation-rich culture driven by a lot of R&D. 3M's got a ton of patents, so my engineering, science-orientated friends, 3M is a place that should definitely be on your list if you're taking a move to mighty Minnesota. So that's our biggest employer by employee count in the state. I think number 2 is by far going to be the most recognizable list on this brand. We are going to go from way over on the east side of St. Paul, and we are going to leap all the way over to right downtown Minneapolis, and keep your fingers crossed I can find it, and there it is. Number 2 on Minnesota's largest employer list, and I think this is going to be the most recognizable brand, that big red bullseye. It is going to be Target. That's right, Target is located at corporate headquarters downtown Minneapolis. I've had a lot of friends that have worked for Target actually, and I can tell you most of them will tell you a couple things. They love it. They expect a lot out of you, and I'm not going to say it becomes what I've been told anyway is I'm not going to say it becomes your life, but if you work at Target, it's kind of who you are. Target does have tuition-free education. You get merchandise discounts at Target. Who doesn't want that? A very inclusive, energetic, progressive culture. If that's kind of your jam, Target, with about 35,000 employees in the state, is going to be possibly one of those you want to check out. We're going to move on to Minnesota's third largest employer at this point. And while it's the third largest in Minnesota, I'm pretty sure on an international scale, this is going to be the biggest, and that is going to be UnitedHealth Group. So we're going to move from downtown Target, which is downtown Minneapolis, and UnitedHealth Group. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I spent about 20 minutes punching in UnitedHealth Group headquarters into Google, and it kept popping up kind of all over in this area. And it's kind of the case, it's not one building, it's a massive sprawling campus tucked into kind of right on the edge of Eden Prairie and the southern piece of Minnetonka. You can see it here. They've got some other facilities over here, and UnitedHealth Group is actually kind of scattered all over the Twin Cities, so it's hard to really pin them down. But they've got about 19,000 employees in Minnesota alone. Benefits are pretty progressive. Peloton fitness classes, very flexible schedules, childcare, remote stipends. Culture is very mission driven, very innovation heavy. I've had a lot of friends who have also worked for UnitedHealth Group, and it's similar to Target. From what I have been told, people like it, but I hate to say they own you, but it sounds like they work you pretty hard at UnitedHealth Group. But a lot of options, a lot of innovation, massive employer right here in lovely Minneapolis. Okay, so that's number 3. For our fourth largest employer, we are going to hop back down here from the corner of Minnetonka and Eden Prairie. We are going to jump right back downtown Minneapolis. And number 4 is going to be Xcel Energy, which, as you can see, is smack dab in the middle of downtown Minneapolis, right on Nicollet Mall. Nicollet Mall, incidentally, if you're ever downtown, great place. It's a great street to walk down. A lot happening, made for pedestrian foot traffic. You can kind of even see it here. Anyways, we're getting off topic. Xcel Energy, right here. Just over 11,000 employees in the state of Minnesota. Benefits for Xcel Energy include some things like clean energy training. They've got a big push on sustainability, very generous parental leave. So you guys with families are thinking about having kids, and they've got some great retirement options. Culture, like I said, very sustainability mindset, focus on public service, engineering. So if that sounds good, Xcel might be one of those places you want to check out. So given we are talking about some of the largest companies in Minnesota, I figured this was also a pertinent place just to share a little bit about basically employment and working in Minnesota. Minnesota's minimum wage as of January 1, 2025 is just over $11 an hour. Unemployment rate is pretty strong. It's 3.3% statewide. That's going to be below the national average of about 4.2, 4.3%. In the Minneapolis metro itself, unemployment is about 3%. Labor force participation is also very strong versus national numbers. So 68% in Minnesota participate in the labor force versus about 62% nationally. Job openings, there's about 53 workers per 100 openings, so that suggests a very tight labor market here in Minnesota. Minnesota's 5th largest employer, and that is going to be US Bank. So here was Xcel Energy at number 4. US Bank is just a few blocks down the road, again, right downtown Minneapolis. US Bank has about 11,000 employees in the state of Minnesota. Some more notable benefits, kind of some interesting things about US Bank and or working there. You get 13 weeks of parental leave, financial education assistance, very good benefits. Culture is pretty community focused. It's not an employer, but it's named US Bank. So I personally am a glutton for punishment, and I love having my heart broken every year. So I cheer for the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe some of you can relate. But coincidentally, the Vikings' relatively new stadium, which is one of the best in the NFL. If you haven't been there, you need to check out US Bank Stadium. Bomb. But obviously named after US Bank, right downtown Minneapolis. Just we're hanging out downtown, figured we'd call that out. Okay, so US Bank is number 5. Number 6 is going to be Best Buy. The electronic retail giant is actually headquartered just a little bit south of Minneapolis proper, down in lovely Richfield, Minnesota, first ring suburb, and you can see it right there. So it's sandwiched right off of 2 major roadways, 494, 35W. MSP, the airport, is also just right down the road. So that's where you can find Best Buy's corporate headquarters in Minnesota. Their Minnesota employee count is undisclosed, so I can't tell you exactly, other than it's part of 100,000 globally. Benefits of working at Best Buy: obviously you get product discounts, so if you're an electronics guy, which let's be real, we all are to some degree, you can get some discounts there. Tech training, educational assistance, things like that. A very innovative culture, community invested, strong community values, things of that nature. So that's going to be number 5 and 6. We're going to get to the bottom half of the list with number 7 starting right now. Okay, so we got the top 6 done. Here comes the bottom 6. So we are going to jump from Best Buy corporate headquarters, Minnesota's 6th largest employer by employee count, and jump up to number 7. Who likes Cheerios? So jumping down from Richfield, we are going to jump all the way up to Golden Valley, where you are going to find the General Mills World Headquarters. And just look at the footprint these guys have in Minnesota. So right on the corner of 169 and 394, you've got the General Mills World Headquarters, of course, right here. You've got General Mills Boulevard. You've got just General Mills everything. General Mills Nature Preserve, you back off. And they've got another big chunk up here. So General Mills has a massive presence in Minnesota. I actually never knew General Mills was a Minnesota company until about 10 years ago. So huge company, about 5,000 employees right here in Minnesota. Cool things you might want to know about General Mills besides making Cheerios. You work at General Mills, you get 18 to 20 weeks of parental leaves, and dads, that includes you too. Pretty cool. Pretty progressive. Wellness program, stock options. It's a very legacy rich culture. Innovation, with a love of the outdoors, and I kind of feel like that even shows up here, the love of the outdoors. With, look at the green space built into this campus with the walking trails, and just pretty cool. Same thing, I've had buddies that work at General Mills. People love General Mills from what I understand, my friends that have worked there. So we're gonna go from Cheerios to four-wheelers. So that means we're gonna jump from General Mills, we are gonna move out Highway 55, and somewhere out here, we are going to find, there it is, Polaris. Polaris is going to be Minnesota's 8th largest employer, about 5,500 employees here in the state. If you don't know, Polaris make, at least I think, I'm into their stuff, they make ATVs, side-by-sides, snowmobiles, basically toys for adults. So that's what Polaris makes. If you work at Polaris, I've got a buddy that works there. Somebody can probably fact check me on this, but I believe you get an allowance, or you get like one free four-wheeler or something like that, a free snowmobile, four-wheeler, jet ski, something like that once every 2 years. Somebody out there in the world of the interwebs probably knows, but I know it's either free or massively discounted, and I think it's every 2 years. So kind of cool. Benefits, product testing access. That's probably part of that. You get employee discounts, creative workspace, performance-driven culture. These guys make products for the outdoors, so guess what? There's no surprise there. It's a very outdoor, adventurous type culture you will find at Polaris. So just a couple kind of interesting tidbits might be worth having on your radar as you are finding your next amazing job at one of these companies here in Minnesota. Already touched on it, but Minnesota's got a very tight labor market. High demand for workers that is driven primarily by two things: baby boomers retiring and fairly low birth rates in the state. There is a projected 168,000 worker gap. Minnesota has also seen a push towards skill-focused hiring, and what that means, especially in the public sector jobs, we have seen a lot of degree requirements be removed for these jobs to help address that tight labor market and give more people an opportunity. And the last thing here, just for this little section, Minnesota is a very worker-friendly state. They boast pro-worker laws. What you think of that is up to you, but paid family and medical leave, ban on non-compete clauses, and guaranteed paid sick days. So in the state of Minnesota, it's a very friendly state towards its workforce. 9 through 12 to go. So we're gonna go from way out west of Minneapolis, and we are gonna hop right back downtown St. Paul. and we are going to show up at Ecolab. So Ecolab, if you don't know, is basically a global leader in water purification systems. They do all things to make your water clean. That's what they do. They do it very well. About 48,000 employees internationally. I could not find, they would not disclose how many are actually located in Minnesota, but ChatGPT helped me rank them number 9, so that's where we're putting them. Right downtown St. Paul, as you can see, they're near some pretty cool stuff as well. We have the Xcel Energy Center, guess who that's named after, and it's also going to be right near the Mississippi River. You've got the St. Paul Hotel, Ordway Performing Arts. The Science Museum is tucked right in here as well. So it's in a really cool part of town is Ecolab. Benefits of working at Ecolab, a lot of travel opportunities, strong R&D, that'd be research and development. Sustainability is also pretty high on their radar as well. Culture is purposeful, global-minded, very collaborative. They are Minnesota's ninth largest employer. And to get to our 10th, we're going to jump out of downtown St. Paul, as you can see. We're going to move a little bit west, right back over to downtown Minneapolis. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this one, Ameriprise Financial Headquarters. Obviously a financial solutions-based company right downtown Minneapolis. You can start to see just how many of these big guys are downtown Minneapolis. Ameriprise Financial, same thing. They don't want to disclose how many employees they've got directly in Minnesota, so I can't tell you that for certain. Some benefits to working at Ameriprise Financial: mentorship, certification, support. They really, I used to work with a guy who was fairly high up at Ameriprise Financial, and he always told me one of the things that he really loved about this company was they really try and hire from within. So really good career mobility, I'm told. Very client-centered culture, growth-orientated, not surprising with the hire from within practice. So if you're in the financial services, might be another one you consider. And our stop at number 11 is also going to be a financial services company. All right, so we've only got numbers 11 and 12 left here as far as largest employers in Minnesota. Number 10 was Ameriprise Financial. Guess what number 11 is for my financial service friends? That's going to be Thrivent Financial, also located right downtown Minneapolis. And I'm just going to back off. This one's in a pretty cool part of Minneapolis. Side note on Minneapolis. Minneapolis has one of the best music scenes in the country. I don't care where you're coming from. And right next to Thrivent Financial, we're getting way off topic, but that's what keeps this fun, is the Armory. Super cool concert venue. Back to Thrivent Financial, also right next to US Bank, home of endless heartbreak. Thrivent Financial, again, they're not going to tell us exactly how many employees they have here in their corporate headquarters downtown Minneapolis, but just know that it is here. Benefits, I'm told, of working there: you can have time off, paid time off for volunteer days. As of being a financial services company, you can imagine they've got very robust financial and insurance offering for their people. Culture is stated to be very ethical, mission aligned, and community focused. That's number 11. We got one to go, guys, and we're going to jump way out of the map. We're going to head from downtown Minneapolis way out. We're going to go way out to Eden Prairie, which is going to be probably a third-ring suburb. And way down in the corner of Eden Prairie, is C.H. Robinson. C.H. Robinson, if you don't know, is a very large logistics shipping freight company. That's what C.H. Robinson does. You can see, coincidentally, they're right next to, so this is not MSP. This is not our big international airports. It's called Flying Cloud Airport. This is where the super rich people of Eden Prairie and Minnetonka keep their private planes and fly in and out of. C.H. Robinson's right next to it. So here's C.H. Robinson. I don't know what's up with these companies, but the last handful here don't want to tell us how many they've got in Minnesota specifically. I've got a friend who works at C.H. Robinson. He's worked there for a while. He absolutely loves it. Similar to some of the others, I'm told C.H. Robinson really likes to promote from within, give opportunity to their people versus hiring from the outside. That's a big benefit of working there. It's a very fast-paced, data-driven culture. I can tell you that hands down for sure. So that is going to be Minnesota's 12th largest employer. Again, those are 12 Fortune 500 companies. There are 17 total. Maybe we'll get to the other 5 in a different video. So from retail giants, leading edge healthcare, innovation and technology at places like 3M, Minnesota's got a very broad swath of some fantastic top tier companies. It's got a very tight labor market and it's very pro worker. So the employment opportunities are diverse and they are many. Thank you for joining me on this video. Again, my name is Chris. I love getting out, showing you guys a bit about a slice of life up here in the Great White North. It was exciting today to show you that there is more here than 10,000 lakes. If you're making a move here, consider reaching out. Contact information is below. Like I said in the beginning, it doesn't matter to me if it's 5 weeks, 5 months, or 5 years. We're here to help. We help people like you make a move all the time. So, thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.